Well, hello guys, welcome back. Okay, I know it's important. Loki keeps giving me an image of a tiny fox sitting in the corner of my kitchen here. He's sitting in the corner and his tail's all fluffed out and his head's turned almost 300, not 360, 180 degrees around on his body. And he's looking at a potato and he's very sad. He didn't like a Pinterest board I had. That's what made him lose his shit. And like Loki, he was afraid of it. Odin finally had to say he had to come up to me last time. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with him now? And he's like, he's afraid of it. And he kept showing me today this little fox afraid of a potato. And I'm like, what the fuck do potatoes and Pinterest have together? Are you making a remark on my computer? Because that's your lookout. And he's looking at this potato, this little frightened fox, and he doesn't like this potato, and he doesn't want this potato around him. And he's not going to leave the corner until I get rid of the potato. And he might wee on the counter or something else if I don't get rid of the potato. So I got rid of the Pinterest board. Odin and I agreed to, stop going to a certain Reddit. Back in the ancient days, so far as we know, so far as they've been able to cobble together. Remember, this is just guesses. Anthropologists and archaeologists don't magically know things, okay? There were spirits and everything to our most ancient of ancestors. Yes, the monkeys that still threw feces, as Loki likes to call them. And since there were spirits in everything, no matter what you did, you weren't in the wrong, because even if some spirits stopped liking you, other spirits probably started liking you because everybody had different priorities. Odin has some priorities that Loki doesn't, and so, depending on what you're doing, some of your gods will be happy and some not so much. And this was a case of Loki not so much being happy. 1 second, please, guys. Allergies. Well, sorry about that, but what he is happy about is we got a fuck ton of snow. So we have been out in it and out in it and out in it. And he also thinks that Marie Kondo can go get bent because he doesn't want any more. We are done. Loki has declared we are done. We are not cleaning anything else out. That is it. Whatever is in this house is staying in this house because Marie Kondo can go bite me. And that's Loki, not me. He doesn't like her. He doesn't like her. It was fine when we were sorting stuff out, but then as more stuff started to go, and the Chica poster came down, I took it down. I just couldn't stand looking at it. We have to be in a partnership. We have to be in a partnership. He can't have all his way. I can't have all my way. So his wall of awesome is down to 3 things from the old channel, maybe 4. And I have some of my stuff that I've always wanted to have out, but I've never had the room for it. So I have some of my stuff. So we're hitting a compromise. He still gets to see a lot of bright, cheerful stuff. So do I. But it isn't all reminding me of my failure in the past. And then he's like, oh, I guess it's really bothering you, huh? And I'm like, yes, it is. I don't need to be reminded of that channel every single damn day of my life. Some of the stuff I can look at and I truly own it, and I truly like it and enjoy it, and I don't associate it with the other channel. That stuff stayed. But the stuff that reminds me of my failure, out, out, out. So we got rid of a bunch of stuff, and we brought some stuff down that we really like, and now we get to enjoy it because we did clean. But that's it. That's absolutely it. Loki's put his little foxy foot down. And we've been thinking of pranking the guy with the pizza place and calling him. I know he doesn't deliver tonight. Calling him and saying, "Hey, you go and deliver because there's a fuck ton of snow out there," and yeah, 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 yeah on the phone. And we're going to keep getting more, keep getting more, and keep getting more. This is the coldest, snowiest winter we've had in decades, guys. In fact, um, there was a photo I had from one of the discs I had that I kept. I think 2000 was the last time we had this much snow. We don't have quite as much snow as we had in 2000, but we got a hell of a lot. This would not be the time for me to want to have to get anywhere in a hurry. Call the Wii U wagon if I needed to get anywhere, because the roads are okay, but it's getting something else out there. And of course now I'm itchy because I don't know. So look, he's like, maybe you're gonna get money. And the funny thing was, what helped me get my faith back was going to that Reddit that was making Loki nervous, and it was the ex-Christian Reddit. And I thought, well, these people are atheists because they're asking for the impossible. I'm gonna tell you something. If some dude that looks like Jesus, that is flesh and blood, shows up and knocks on your front door, Call the damn cops. Don't let that man into your house. I don't know who the hell that is, but that ain't Jesus. I can tell you that much right now. The faith is pretty clear that his ass died and went to heaven. And there was something about you couldn't touch him. Call the damn cops. Now, if you have a vision of Jesus, that's how you're going to see him. And the funny thing is, these people will then go on to have like a vision of Jesus, the angels, Mary, or whatever old relative. And they'll go, well, that was just a hallucination. Baby, I'm sorry. That's as good as you're going to get. If somebody walks up to you and starts telling you that they're Jesus or Loki or the Buddha, we all know what to do with the Buddha if we meet him on the road, right? So don't do anything to anybody, but you guys know what I'm saying. This is not how it works. If Loki shows up at your house in flesh and blood, either A, the fucking world's ending today, or B, I got laughter and cheerbacker, or B, it's somebody cosplaying or somebody with a mental disorder. Do not open that goddamn door. It isn't Loki. It isn't Jesus. It isn't the Buddha. It isn't anybody. It's why it's called faith and not called science. No, they did ask some legitimate questions like why the hell doesn't Jesus appear in New York, say Times Square or something, or do all this because they don't fucking feel like it. That's why. It's the same thing with all the gods. They have to have, for those of us that have faith, they have to have some kind of rules in place, or we'd be having them do dog and pony tricks for the rest of eternity. Well, appear for me and appear with a pizza. The fastest way to lose your faith is to ask God for something you know is damn well impossible. Like say to Jesus, if you still believe in Jesus, I'm gonna think you're fake if you don't make a cheeseburger appear on my counter out of nowhere. You know that's not gonna happen. You know it's not gonna happen. But he's Jesus. He can do anything. You just know that's not gonna fucking happen. And this is fastest way to break your faith in Loki as well. If I want to break my faith in Loki real fast, I can say, well, if you exist, why the hell am I getting all the Tom Hiddleston fans? And believe me, we go around about that. I don't care if people like Marvel or not. I think it's okay, but you do get a little, it does wear on you after a while that you know what they really want is Tom Hiddleston. They don't want this god that I don't care how many people say he's supposed to be beautiful. You learn to love Loki because you learn to love him. He is the Loki I work with. Let's just say he's unfortunate looking, and whether he's choosing to do that with me or whatever, he has a face only a mother could love, and that's being generous. But you learn to see him as beautiful because he's yours, and even if he's the damn ugliest thing you have ever seen, you learn to love him. I love him, but he's the damn ugliest god I've ever seen. Him and his brother, those two aren't going to win any beauty prizes. They're not Greek gods. They are the damn ugliest gods I've ever seen, but I love them because they're my family, and it doesn't matter if they're ugly or beautiful. It matters what their character is like. I think for Loki, it's definitely a test. It's like if I was the damn ugliest thing you ever saw, would you still love me? It's like, of course I'd still love you. You're never going to be beautiful, but you're beautiful to me in a way. But you know what I mean. And Loki's like, you're just starting to dig. Just keep digging deeper. But he knows what I mean. He can look okay sometimes with me, but sometimes he looks extremely unfortunate. Sometimes he looks like, say, anybody would look on the street, and sometimes he goes for extra unfortunate, and he does it on purpose, and he tries to see just how hideous can he look and see if there's this edge to where you'll just look at him and go no. There will probably be a limit for everyone, and you would just run away screaming, but after a while you would think, well, if that's how unfortunate he wants to look, what are you gonna do? If you truly love him, you won't care. You'll just, I don't know, put a celestial bag over his head or something. I got cheers and laughter back here. He's usually okay looking. I wouldn't say handsome. He's okay looking, but if he's feeling ornery or feeling like he needs to prove a point, he will be the damn most ugly thing I ever saw. And I will look at him and say, "You fell the ugly tree today, baby, didn't you?" And he's like, "Yeah." So he's a strange deity. He looks ugly on purpose with me. He's not going to give me pretty. So that's why I kind of get pissed off because I'm like, everybody just these certain people that come, they just want to worship Loki because they see Tom Hiddleston, they think he's hot and sexy. I'm like, that is not what he looks like. He could if he wanted to. He has at times done this with people. But, that's not what Loki looks like. He's not Tom Hiddleston Loki. I will say to the end of time, if you are in love with that character and find him hot, that's actually Odin you want. That's not Loki. That's not Loki. He's a lot to deal with is what he is. I'm sure he will work Tom Hiddleston to his advantage until Tom Hiddleston is passe and everybody is like, haha, that's so old fashioned. But, he will milk it for all it's worth while it's here, but it pisses off the rest of us. And he knows it. I'm sure it makes him happy in some dark place in his heart. I can maybe. So, if we want pizza tonight, we'll be making it. I don't know if we're going to make pizza or what we're going to make, but it snowed a fuck ton. And the house is finally done because the guys told me we're just going to stop. They don't care what's left in the house. We're going to stop. And Marie Kondo can get bent and we're done. We're absolutely done. And that, what did we get out of it? What did we get out of it? Did we, did $1 million fall out of the sky? No. Did my faith rekindle? No. That cleared out a lot of psychic garbage, but it wasn't like I cleaned my house and then the heavens opened and God spoke to me or an angel came down or Loki appeared or, anything else happened. In fact, it was like stressing me out and stressing me out and stressing me out. And, Marie Kondo's kind of a snob. She has this kind of aesthetic of minimalism, which she says she doesn't, and yet, do you really need any of those sentimental items? Yeah, I do. They're all behind me, and we were having, you can have cross purposes with your gods. You can love them and adore them and cheerfully clean up around everything they have, and then you can just get tired of it one day. That's like with everybody else. And what Odin was trying to tell us is that Loki was failing to see how hard I was working and to get this house super, super clean and to, get everything just so and I was willing to see something, 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 something. And I'm like, I never see Loki work in my life. I never see him move. He just stands around with his arms folded like this, looking at me, snorks at me every so often. I had a dream this morning, but I had a dream from Asmodeus. And Asmodeus was asking me if Loki left me with enough food and money. And I got up this morning. I'm like, well, now that you're in a position to talk about it, no, not really. Could you? I mean, yeah, we have enough for now, but I'm like, if you're being generous and making an offer, I will take all you have to give. So I don't know what it was about. But, the gods work in mysterious ways as we've been working through this Beyond Belief collection. I'm getting the exact videos I need at the exact time, and I know that's cosmic timing, so we're doing pretty good. I am tired. My arthritis acted up. I was crippled up in my hands yesterday with my arthritis, and I was crippled up in my body because it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot more work than my body's wanted to do. So I think like for the next week or so, I'm gonna be paying for it. And look, he's like, mention the chips, mention the chips. Yeah, have you guys heard about that? Elon Musk goes chips to put in your brain. Trouble's brewing. Trouble's brewing. They're saying it could help, it could be a godsend for quadriplegics, and I get that. But the idea of putting chips in monkeys and having them play monkey pawn, one, monkeys are notorious difficult to train. They're really hard to train and they're really hard to get to do what you want. They have a free will and they're going to use it. And even if you can train them like you trained it like a therapy monkey, they're still I see trouble brewing. I don't think technology enhanced monkeys are something we want on this planet, but I guess they'll dispose of them at the end of the experiment, unfortunately. Because what else are they going to do? Let them get connected to the internet and see exactly what humans are doing to them? Then they might get little monkey ideas. We have to waste in the Planet of the Apes. Thankfully, they're using the small ones that can't do much damage. I'm glad they didn't start on gorillas or something, because we'd all be fucked. And, it's like I often have wondered about the wisdom of teaching gorillas and chimpanzees in that sign language, because they've already proven, for example, chimpanzees are smart enough and they know how to use fire. They just don't do it in the wild because of the way their society is. the bigger, stronger, more aggressive ones would take the food even before it cooked because they can eat raw food. That's the only thing keeping them from developing technology of fire and using it is that they're assholes and they're too aggressive. And I'm like, if they ever learn to fucking work together, we're all fucked. So we're preparing for Planet of the Apes, and brain chips just sound like a really bad idea. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm like, well, don't they already have stuff for quadriplegic people? And I get wanting to have a brain implant to just do it with your mind, but I'm like, wouldn't it just be more efficient to figure out a way to, I don't know, make them ambulatory again? It sounds like putting the cart before the horse, where if you're quadriplegic, I understand as a person with disabilities, you will take any help you can get. But him claiming this is going to make my eyes and my ears and everything better, how? That stuff is the way it is, and there's no technology on Earth that's going to fix it. It would be like saying if you had a shit lens on your camera that just putting another card in it or changing the insides of the camera is going to fix that shit lens. No, it isn't. You got to replace the lens unless he can make new eyeballs for people. I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.